Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about the Lancaster County Career and Technology Center. It's not your parents' VOTEC. With us right now we have Dave Warren. You are Executive Director. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you.
And we also have Rob Cronin. You are Chairman of the CTC Joint Operating Committee. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's really understand this CTC. It's not your parents' VOTEC.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of difference between what it used to be from back in the 60s and 70s to what it is today. It's grown. We're up to approximately 4 campuses in Lancaster County right now with an additional satellite site. We also have a commercial truck driving school in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And
Wow.
it's actually come from the traditional skills that were taught back up to the high technology and rigor today that allow students to go not only just out into the career force, but also to college if they wish to afterwards.
And it's great hands-on training. Now, to really understand this is actually run by what, the 16 school districts? Is that correct?
Yes, the CTC is supported by all 16 school districts here in Lancaster County. Each district financially supports the CTC, and we all have a member from our respective home school boards that make up or comprise the board of the Career and Technology Center.
Okay, so it's open to all these students. How many students do you have now?
We have over 1,500 high school students, and each year somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 adult students will touch our halls at one point or another.
I love the preparation that the CTC offers for students. Explain a little bit more about that.
So we offer somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 programs for students to be able to take. They are certificate programs, diploma programs, clear up through specialized associate degrees that students can get through our school. Even the high school programs are at such a high level now that students have the opportunity of actually getting articulated college credit, usually somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 18 credits, depending on what program they're in.
That's
so a lot of
wonderful
opportunity for students.
Yeah, there really is. Let's talk about some things that are specific to some of the campuses. Now, Willis Street, first of all, there are 2 campuses, is that right?
Willis Street has 2 campuses. The larger of the 2 campuses houses the high school programs as well as adult programs. And it's primarily set up to handle medical related programs as well as transportation programs like your diesel, automotive technician, and collision repair.
Okay.
And then the other campus at Willis Street is our health sciences campus, and it is entirely post-secondary, and it's set up for our practical nursing program. We actually run one of the largest, if not the largest, practical nursing program in the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow, that's exciting. Mount Joy offers what?
The Mount Joy campus is set up so that it offers manufacturing type programs as well as all the culinary centers there. We also run 2 carpentry programs out of the Mount Joy campus, and the reason we have carpentry out there is because we're actually building a housing development. So they build a house each year and then sell it to someone in the public.
Okay, this is great. You got involved with this how, Rob?
I've been on the board of the CTC for approximately 6.5 years. And personally, as an attorney, I was coming from a profession that didn't have a lot of day-to-day contact with the types of education that our students have. And it's just been an eye-opening experience for me. I really came in with more of a stereotypical mindset of what a CTC could offer, more of a traditional VOTEC type education. And I've just been blown away and thoroughly impressed with the level and the rigor of the programming here offered by the CTC, to the extent that I'm now a firm believer and advocate of the CTC, what it offers for our students and our adult population, and without a doubt would not hesitate to recommend it to anybody as far as a great way to further your education, especially in this day and age where you read so much about the need for career-sustaining jobs, life-sustaining jobs. This is a great opportunity. We've had the opportunity to hear from a number of graduates from the CTC as they come back and talk to us at a board level about their experiences here at the CTC, and can give us examples, real-world examples of the successes that they're now having and experiencing in life. Probably in large part, based upon the education that they've received here through the CTC, and it's a great compliment to the administrators, the staff, the teachers, of the skills that they can deliver and impart on these students.
The participation in real life experiences is what's so key about this too, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely. They have a lot of opportunities for real life experiences. Not only are they set up mock situations within the classrooms, but our students, the goal is to actually get them out into the workforce and have that experience prior to them leaving the school. So we have both internships and co-op experiences for students to be able to go out on paid work experiences with businesses in the community. And those businesses have really helped our programs thrive throughout the years.
Yeah, and it really has grown, and you've got adult students as well.
We do. So we have adult students in many of our programs. All our high school programs are also accredited as post-secondary programs. So that's the level of instruction that's going on within the school. So if there's any seats in those programs that are not filled by high school students, we open them up to adults. But we also have a number of adult-only programs that range anywhere from certificate. As I said, we offer several specialized associate degrees, and we're growing them each year, the number of degrees.
There's a lot that we see with partnerships with businesses in the area too. This training is really integral, isn't it, to the success of our community?
It is. To begin with, without the businesses in the community, we wouldn't be able to operate the school. Every one of our programs has an occupational advisory committee that's made up of experts from the field, and they actually tell us what needs to be taught in each of the programs. So it's very important to get those connections with the businesses. They hire our students. They also come in and help us with programs by being proctors for tests, by being guest speakers, by offering live work experiences, and also donations to our school.
Okay. We're going to put the website up on the screen. What are we going to find on there?
So on the website, you'll see a variety of things. You'll see the listing of all the programs we teach. You'll see some news releases of some of the activities our students get involved in. I urge people to also link with us through social media, through Facebook. So they'll see what we have available, and they'll also see job openings, because we also open up our website that any of the community businesses can actually post their ads, so our students have an opportunity to apply.
Yeah, it's a real resource, isn't it, Rob?
It is. It's a great resource. The website offers a lot of information, not just for the current students, but prospective students, as well as prospective employers of our students.
Okay, that's great. We're going to take a brief pause, and we come back. We're going to find out what's going on at Brownstown. There's a tiny house that's there, right?
That's right.
They did a wonderful job with that. We're going to get the inside story on that when we return, so stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about Lancaster County Career and Technology Center. And with us right now, we have Jim Smith. You are the construction instructor at Brownstown. And Michael Del Prior. You are the principal and director at the Brownstown campus. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about the other campuses, but there's so much going on with this tiny house at Brownstown, we figured we'd give you your own segment. So how did this concept come about with the tiny house?
The tiny house came about a few years ago when Mr. Warren, our director, asked me and another instructor to attend a conference in Philadelphia on tumbleweed tiny homes.
Okay, and how long did it take to create this tiny house?
The tiny house took about 14 months from start to finish.
Okay, this was exciting, wasn't it, Michael?
Absolutely. Yeah, the process to see it just from the trailer and then build all the way up has really been just awesome to watch. And really under the leadership of Mr. Smith to make that happen.
Yeah, and bringing this all together really was a team effort, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We took about 9 different shops from the Career and Technology Center and incorporated them to what is like a real life work project. Bringing in, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, computer-aided drafting, and some other shops, cabinet making, painting, all to create one project as a culminating project.
And this is hands-on, right, Michael?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the number of students, that we had doing that at one time, it was more than 100 students were coming in and out of Mr. Smith's shop to collaborate with him, the instructors, the other students, and so really it was awesome to see.
And I know you've heard some good comments from the students, haven't you? What have you heard, Jim?
Oh, the students love working on the tiny house. They think it's a neat project to do. A lot of them are interested in it, but they don't have the funds to purchase it. And they're excited to keep going. Students that were participated last year are coming back from the senior program to help participate and finish up in some of the trades.
Well, that's great. Well, speaking of purchasing and marketing, Tell us about how you're going to promote this.
Well, there's a few ways that we're going to do that. We've already taken it to a conference where we've seen teachers and administrators and others. They've gotten the chance to walk through it and really get a flavor for what that looks like. We're also going to be taking it to the BIA Home Show, which is located at Spooky Nook next weekend, and that's going to be great for people in the industry to really get a look at it. And anybody who's interested would really have to contact the Brownstown campus, me specifically, and I'd be happy to help them.
When we say tiny house, how many square feet is this, Jim?
The tiny house is about 385 square foot.
Okay, I was surprised when I walked in there how effectively you use the space, and it was so smartly designed.
Yeah, it takes a lot of thought process. We had our computer-aided drafting class help us out with our design. We purchased a set of plans from Tumbleweed Tiny Homes and kind of tweaked them a little bit to make it our own.
That's great. Who would this be good for, Michael, this tiny house?
Well, that would be good for anyone, really. Anyone who's looking to downsize, someone who's looking for a way to reduce their carbon footprint. Maybe someone who wants it for a hunting cabin, if they have land up north. Someone who's retiring and really doesn't need all of the space that they have.
Okay. So yeah, multiple uses too. One thing that I think is really, really smart about what you do at CTC is called clusters, and it's cluster programs. Explain that concept and how that works.
So all of our campuses at the CTC have what are called cluster programs, and primarily they're comprised of underclassmen who are coming in and they're learning about a trade and they're really getting a sampling for that trade. That then gives them a flavor for what they might want to do as seniors, and then go and focus more and kind of major in that area for their senior year. So Mr. Smith teaches the cluster program at Brownstown for construction, and so he has been able to draw upon all of those different trades he gives his kids a sampling of, and then allow them to take it deeper into the tiny house and really apply those skills.
Yeah, what a great thing to see this all come together, isn't it, Tim?
Oh, absolutely. It gives the students real life experience working with other trades at the same time and having to come together as a team to finish a project.
I think we need to also realize the quality of the instructors at CTC. Tell me more about their backgrounds and where you get them.
Yeah, so this tiny house is really built by experts. So we have the chief architects, so to speak, of this tiny house are the instructors, and they're then empowering the students to go forth and do that great work themselves. These instructors are coming from a background where they are experts in their field. They have worked several years. Many of them have worked 10 to 15 years in their field. They become experts, and then they decide to give back to the community and come back and become teachers to then ready the next generation of the workforce. And so that's truly awesome to see.
Well, we were talking in the first segment about how this is not your parents' VOTEC, and it certainly isn't. I know when I walked in there, I saw a lot of kids having a good time while learning something too. The culture is good, isn't it?
Yes, the culture is good. The students are working with all different ethnic backgrounds. They're coming together as a team. Like I said before, the biggest thing in construction is having several trades working on a project at the same time and being able to get along and do the quality work needed in order to be able to sell the product at the end.
And we even have individuals that are in different non-traditional areas too, right, Michael?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have adults that are working on degrees, as was mentioned already.
Right.
We have females that are working in traditionally male-dominated fields, and so that's really great to see the comfort level of people who are considered to be more non-traditional coming into those fields and kind of leading the way for the future.
Yeah, and there is a lot of support with a lot of rigorous training added onto this, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, it's we like to get the businesses in there. They're doing mock interviews with students. They're trying to get them really ready. So it's not just the skills; it's the soft stuff too. It's the soft skills to try and get them ready for the field.
Yeah, it's really setting them up to succeed, isn't it? The priorities too. What's your slogan?
Your future, your
Your future?
Your future, your career, our priority.
Our priorities.
Right.
And it is setting them up for success with all of that, right?
Yeah, especially with the people from industry coming in and doing mock interviews with the students. It's just setting them up to be successful.
Okay, that's what's so key. A final thought from you, Michael.
Well, I'll tell you, having come to the CTC and being able to lead one of these campuses is really inspirational, and it's a privilege to do. Watching projects like this come together really is what this is all about. Students feeling proud about the work they do, being prepared for the next step in life, and just watching them flourish and take that next step, whether it's co-op or it's a full-time job. I feel like we've done our job when they're placed and they're being successful, and then they're contributing back to our community.
And that is what they do, and that makes a difference. And instructors like yourself, I applaud your efforts too, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job there too.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a brief pause. We're going to talk to someone who's been doing co-op and working out in the community, because CTC students are the future of Lancaster County. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about Lancaster County Career and Technology Center, Not Your Parents VOTEC, and the difference that the students there are making in the community, and especially with the workforce. And speaking of the workforce, we have Roger Brubaker, you're president of Wilco Electric, and that's in Columbia. Thank you for being here.
Yes, my pleasure.
And we also have Emily Norman. You are a co-op adult student, and you're working at Wilco.
Yep.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So how long have you been involved with the co-op opportunities with the CTC?
Our company's probably been co-oping CTC students for probably at least the last 10 years, and we found it to be a great way to get entry-level people coming into our company that actually have some background of the trade, instead of just walking in off the street without any training whatsoever.
It seems to be a really good resource for you, isn't it?
We use the CTC almost exclusively for our entry-level apprentice positions. It's just been a great connection for us. The CTC does a great job in getting those students prepared to come in as entry-level students,
Right.
and apprentices.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
So how about you? How did you start, and why did you choose the position that you're doing in the occupation?
Well, honestly, I was very hesitant to come to school after I am an adult, and I've been in the retail business for pretty much my life, and then I just thought it'd be a great career change, and it's been great so far.
So what was it about electric? Out of all the things you could pick and pluck?
Honestly, I think a lot of people have asked me that question, but I would say it would be probably just working on my house and my home.
Oh, great.
And it just kind of got me into it.
Okay. So how has the CTC prepared you? You've gone through a lot of training, and now you're doing co-op opportunity. You have a great foundation with CTC, correct?
Yes. It just working in the classroom and then going on to co-op is great hands-on learning experience. It's one thing to do things in the classroom, but to be actually out on the job working and in the actual field is just a lot different. It's a lot more involved.
How many students are in your classes? Do you know?
I believe there's 25 in ours.
Okay. How many other girls?
No, just me.
It's just you, okay.
Just one.
So how is it being there in class with the guys?
It's actually not bad. It's not
Okay.
bad at all. Like I said, I was kind of a little hesitant at
Right.
first, but
That's good.
it's been great.
Okay.
It's been great.
That's what I like, and that's what I've seen when I've gone into some of the classrooms. I've seen this camaraderie and this support, and I think that's really good too. Now, you're also involved too, Roger, with the CTC in different ways. Tell me more about that.
Well, I serve as a member of the Occupational Advisory Committee for the electrical construction, and that group serves as a link between the CTC curriculum and industry. So we actually take a look at what the CTC is teaching the students and help determine and tweak that to make sure that it meets the needs of current industry.
That is so vitally important, because you do have to keep tweaking it, because things do change, right?
Oh, very much so. With the speed of the change of technology, it's even more critical for that to take place, to make sure that the training is on track with what the need is.
Right. So how many people are involved with this committee?
I believe our committee has about 9 members.
Okay.
Just on the electrical group.
All right, and then there's even more involved with that too. How often do you meet?
We meet a minimum of twice a year,
Okay.
and sometimes we meet in between time just to if there's something specific that we need to discuss.
Right. So how has this opportunity really helped you at Wilco?
Just the hands-on experience, going out in the field, working with the customers and actually being in the actual real-life experience. It's just been really, it's been really great.
I bet it feels good to actually go out and accomplish something.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, you can say, wow, I did this, I did this, I did that.
Yes, that is very true. It's very rewarding.
What would you say to someone who is considering doing what you're doing?
You know, if no matter what, if you're passionate about something, you know, I would say go for it, give it your 100%, and that's all you can do. And I think that's usually enough.
Yeah, and by using these programs that are available through CTC, it really sets you up, like we were saying earlier, for good success.
Oh yeah.
How many students, can you give me, you know, through the years, how many students do you think that you've actually had come through?
I would say probably at least 18 to 20 students, because we typically do at least one per year, and sometimes two. The last couple of years we've been able to co-opt 2 students each year. So
Yeah. I know you've also talked to and you have relationships with other businesses that have students from the CTC. What do you hear from them as well? Probably the same story, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very much in contact with other, at least in the construction trades, especially with, you know, carpentry, HVAC, plumbing, and you know, they're all in the same situation as we are. We're trying to fill you know, positions in a trade that is desperate for skilled workers, and so we are really trying to promote this, and we're really pleased that the CTC is helping to fill that void.
And I think we really need to stress this. There is a need for people to do these jobs. There really is a need for it, correct?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so, and it's going to continue for quite the next number of years, 5 to 10 years probably, as the skilled craftsmen retire. The baby boomer group is retiring, and there's really very few coming back into the trade to fill those spots. So it's a big void.
And I think that's really, especially here in Lancaster County, we can really see the need for that because there are retiring. So that bodes well for you, doesn't it, Emily?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes, I
does.
think I'm going to be set.
Yeah, I think you're looking forward to a really bright future with doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And learning even more too. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have an interest in this, check out CTC.
Oh, yeah.
And join and co-op with some of the businesses that are there too. It really gives you this real life, real world experience. And it's been wonderful, hasn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
very much so.
it really is. We're going to also put up the website on the screen, and you're going to be able to find out more about these different programs that are available and how you can be a part of it as an adult student. There are 4 different campuses. There's over 50, I think we had discussed before, 50 different areas that you can get into, and it's always constantly evolving and changing too. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Good luck with everything, and thank for what you do in your community. Thank you for joining us today too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.